Hey, Josh. What did Buzz Aldrin say to Neil Armstrong?
I don't know.
He said, "Fly me to the moon."
Nice joke intro.
I just made that up.
Yeah. Clearly I can tell that is true.
Welcome to Drawing Conclusions. I'm Jessica.
Yes, you are. And I'm Josh.
Today we are talking about First Man.
Yes.
About Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, not caveman. First man.
Or Adam.
Or Adam.
No, it's actually about the first man on the moon.
Right.
Yeah, and which was Neil Armstrong. Who was Neil Armstrong? He's not a witch. He's a who. And he's not a witch, although that would also be appropriate because
Does he
Halloween.
float in water?
So, see, heavier than a duck. Anyway, so
yeah. Small rocks.
So, First Man, starring Ryan Gosling as Neil Armstrong and Claire Foy as his wife, Jan or Janet, and a bunch of other people as famous historical figures from the space program back in the day. And it's directed by Damien Chazelle, who did La La Land.
Yes. Also starring Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, which is also starring Ryan. But a very different kind of movie.
Very different. I mean, it's like...
Yeah.
It couldn't be more different.
Right. So, Josh, tell me what you liked about First Man.
This movie was really not what I was expecting as far as like a historical drama. I thought, maybe a little more lighthearted humor. I mean, this is very serious, very dramatic, and very stressful.
Right.
I mean, they show, I guess, mini spoiler here, they kind of show Neil Armstrong, Ryan Gosling, who's playing him, rather, doing all these, test flights on various things, from jets to like this weird helicopter thing, and it's just like he just keeps doing it. He's so driven. I mean, it's crazy.
Right. It's very dangerous because it's all new.
Oh yeah, this is all new stuff, untried, untested, and just like I'm doing it,
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I mean, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good movie, and the acting and performances by all the actors and actresses were great. They were really good. I mean, from the opening moment, the hook. I mean, I was in. I mean, it's a really involved movie. I mean, it just really pulls you in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it did for me. How about you?
Yeah, it starts definitely with a bang.
Yeah.
As they say, and starts with a lot of drama and really sets the stage for really the whole movie, and they kind of close the loop there at the end, right? Like they come back to the beginning, and it's really a well-constructed story, a well-constructed script, and it's the kind of movie that does a lot with, I mean, dialogue. Honestly, there's not like these big long speeches or whatever. It does more with the visuals and the music and things like that. Like they pull a lot from all of the elements of movie making rather than just the dialogue.
Right.
And it's a really complete film in that way. Like you said, the performances are just amazing.
Yeah.
There are really tense moments.
Yes.
There are some fun and funny moments.
There are. I don't want to say like this is some bleak look at the past kind of thing.
But it is very dramatic, and
it's
pretty heavy. And what I liked about it was that, I mean, I've seen other space movies. I've seen The Right Stuff. I've seen Apollo 13. I mean, you've seen space movies.
What about Armageddon?
I unfortunately have seen Armageddon. But I mean, you've seen other movies about astronauts. I mean,
yes.
And even like, was it Sandra Bullock one? Gravity, or like the Mars one with...
The Martian.
The Martian, yeah. It was like, I can't think of anything right now. But, I mean, lots and lots of movies about astronauts and space travel and blah, 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 blah. And, what I liked about this one, the futuristic ones, actually like The Martian and... what did I just say was the one? Gravity. Sandra Bullock actually were a bit more personal like this, but like Apollo 13, The Right Stuff, they're really focused on the mechanics of what was happening,
Right.
With the space program and with the particular significant, moments in history that those movies covered.
Right.
Whereas this one was much more focused on Neil Armstrong as a person.
Yeah, and growing up, a little bit after this era, we were born.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong he's like that kind of like folk hero. He's like, he's the first guy on the moon.
Right.
And there's this covers so many things you don't know about him.
Right.
And how he was, who he was. I mean, it's just
but it takes
really
like this.
cool.
It's like a very specific slice of his life.
Right.
So it's not trying to give you the full picture of who he was from boyhood to
right.
adulthood.
It's not doing that.
It's really like how he deals with a very specific thing that he had to deal with in his life.
Yeah, like 9-10 years or so.
Yeah, but also just like I think a really good look at how people in these kinds of jobs, not just astronauts, but people who do this kind of work, the impact that it has on them personally, the impact that it has on their families and their friendships and everything, you can't help but think about people who are in the military, people who are police officers and firefighters, and people who have really dangerous jobs,
high stress jobs,
right, dangerous high stress jobs where they are serving the community, serving the public, serving their country, and the toll that it takes on them, and the kinds of bonds that are created, among people that have those kinds of professions and stuff, and but I just really enjoyed the really personal, intimate story. Feel of the story, that it wasn't like, even though there was this big epic thing going on, right, that changed the world, and that was made it, everybody talked about, it's funny because we watched another show last night, Chappaquiddick, which was taking place
nearly the exact same time.
Well, it was the exact same time that Neil Armstrong was on the moon, and they were talking about how like they estimated like 400 million people watched
worldwide.
Neil Armstrong walk on the moon, and so it was obviously this big, huge thing. I mean, it was just so significant, so impactful, and yet the story wasn't really about that. The story was about him. Yeah. And I just really like that they took that take, that angle on it.
I agree.
Was there anything that you didn't like about the movie?
I can't really think of that right off the top of my head. I mean, I honestly can't.
Yeah.
I did like this movie start to finish. I mean, I don't think I was disappointed in any aspect of it. Like, I'm not... I really enjoy a movie when I forget the reason I'm there is to review it.
Right.
That's when I know I'm onto something that I enjoy. Whether it's like, good or not. But I think this one actually was a very good movie.
Right.
So I thought it was great.
I can't think of anything specific that I didn't like about the movie. In fact, I think it's probably one of the very best movies that we've seen this year. Yeah. It's just, I've read other people say that it's slow or,
Yeah, so what?
If you're not the kind of person who likes thoughtful, movies, like the quieter movies, although some moments of this movie are
very loud,
far from quiet. Yeah. Then maybe this isn't for you, but to me it wasn't slow at all. I thought it was really well paced, and there was just meaning in everything in the movie. A lot of nuance. Like there was no waste. There was no fat in the movie. Like everything served a purpose. No, it didn't.
It totally feels like they did not pad this movie at all.
Right.
Everything felt like it was relevant.
Yeah, and to give you a sense of the people and the characters and really take you on the journey with Neil, of everything that he was going through, but also his wife and his children, and his fellow astronauts and and their families and
the whole community,
right. So anyway, I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. Josh, do you have a rating for this?
Well, I'm just going to give this 5 stars. I thought this was an excellent movie.
5 stars? But they went to the moon, not to the stars.
But there were stars out there. Well, but see, it does leave one burning question, though. Oh. Where are their Transformers in this show? Did they see them on the dark side of the moon?
They didn't go The Dark Side of the Moon. That's how come they missed it.
We don't know that. They might have turned the cameras off like in that other Transformers show. Just saying.
Right, yeah.
Oh, wait, no. That didn't happen. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
Yeah, there are no Transformers in this movie. So you are safe to go see it.
I do give this 5 out of 5. This was a great show.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today on our channel, Drawing Conclusions.
Yep.
We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a like. If you didn't, well,
give us
I
a
don't
comment.
know. Just be nice, I don't know. But leave us a comment, subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. The link is in the video description. Anything else we need them to do? Oh, share. Sharing is caring, as I always say. So please make sure you share this with your friends.
Yeah.
That's it. Should I take us out with a song? Fly me to the moon.
And we're done.